Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we started our discussion related to Agile methodology with Jira, right? So first we discussed about SDLC, then we discussed about the phases available in the SDLC, then we discussed about waterfall model, what are the drawbacks with the waterfall model, then we discussed about Agile model and what is Agile. So Agile methodology, it is an iterative approach to develop, test and deliver software applications to the client. Waterfall model is a linear model where we will follow step-by-step approach, whereas Agile methodology is an iterative approach. Instead of delivering the complete project in one shot, we are going to develop the project in multiple phases and we are going to deliver to the client. And here, client feedback is very important or very critical when we go for waterfall model. Client involvement is also very high in the Agile. Client feedback is very important in the Agile model. In the waterfall model, client involvement is very less. In the Agile model, client involvement is very high. Now in the Agile model, we have seen different types of people here, like product owner will be available, Scrum Master will be available, tech lead will be available, team members will be available, right? And one Agile team can have multiple people, developers and testers also will be available. Next one, Agile terminology also we discussed. So in the Agile terminology, we have seen backlog grooming, story point, story, sprint planning, sprint, scrum, and retrospective. So what is the meaning of backlog grooming? Backlog grooming is a meeting in which we will discuss pending works available in the project. For every pending work, one story will be created in the Jira. All team members can create the stories in the Jira backlog, and for every story, we are going to assign some story points. For every story, we are going to assign some story points. All right. Now, then sprint planning. Sprint planning is a meeting in which we will discuss about priority stories to complete. The industry standard for the sprint duration is 2 weeks of time. Okay. So sprint is nothing but fixed set of stories that we need to complete within the sprint duration. And during this sprint, every day Scrum call will be there. So Scrum call is nothing but a meeting in which we will discuss Agile team work updates, what I am doing today, when my story will be completed, any challenges I am facing to complete. All these things we will discuss in the Scrum call. And here, every team member should give work updates to the Scrum Master in the Scrum call on daily basis. Okay. If you are not available to join the Scrum, then send your work updates to the Scrum Master in the email. And in the project, retrospective meeting will be available. There we will discuss about our previous sprints, how we implemented our previous sprints. Retrospective is like a review meeting. In the retro, we will discuss what went well, what went wrong, what are the lessons we have learned, any ideas we have, those things we will discuss. So retro means that's a meeting that will happen monthly once. All right. So theoretically, we understood what is Agile methodology in the last session. Today, we are going to talk about Jira. So Jira tool. So every software engineer, whether you are a developer or a tester or a DevOps engineer or network admin, every software engineer will use this Jira software in the industry. Okay. So what is the meaning of this Jira? Jira, nothing but project management software. Okay, so here Jira software developed by one company called Atlassian. Jira software developed by one company which is called Atlassian company. And this is Jira is commercial software. Jira software developed by Atlassian company and it is commercial software. We can use trial version of Jira for the practice. So if you want to experiment with Jira, if you want to do the practice of Jira, if you want to learn, then you can go for trial version of Jira. You can go for trial version of Jira. So in the industry, people will use commercial version of Jira. Okay, Jira software is used as project management software. Jira is used as project management software, right? So what is the meaning of project management software? So in the Jira, we are going to create stories. What are the pending works available? We will discuss pending works in the backlog grooming meeting. For every pending work, one story will be created. Create stories, assign stories to team members, assign stories to team members, right? Create stories for pending works, create stories for pending works, assign the stories to team members, okay? Change story status. If your story is completed, then you will change the status to completed, okay? And generating the sprint reports, project tracking, project tracking, bug reporting, bug reporting. All these things we are going to do by using Jira tool only in the company. So Jira software developed by Atlassian company, and this Jira is a commercial software. We can use trial version of the Jira software, and Jira is used as project management software. We can create the stories for pending works, and we can assign those stories to our team members, and we can change our story status, and we can generate the sprint reports, and we can generate project bug reports. We can report the bugs in the project. When the testing team is working on project testing, they will identify some bugs. What are the bugs they identified? They need to report those bugs to the developers. That bug reporting also we are going to do by using Jira. Jira software developed by Atlassian company, and this Jira is a commercial software. We can use trial version of this Jira, and Jira is used as project management software. So it is used to create the stories for the pending works, assign those stories to the team members, and we can change the story status, and we can generate sprint reports, and we can use it for project tracking and for bug reporting. Now let us do some practicals on this Jira. Let us do some practicals on the Jira. So let's go here. You need to create free account in the Jira. So for that, go here and do Jira login. Okay, Jira is from Atlassian company, so you need to create the account in the Atlassian website in order to use this Jira. Get Jira free, get it free. Okay, we can use trial version of Jira. Get started with Jira software. Okay, you can use your account which is already existing. Okay, you can continue with the Google, or you can create your account. So let me use Google account. Let me use my Google account, and using this I will try to access this Jira, right? So Ashoka that classes I am using, agree and start now. For free up to 10 users it is free, no card is required. Select a template to get started Jira. We are going for the Scrum template. Okay, we will plan, prioritize, schedule sprints using Scrum framework. So in the Jira, we are going to follow Scrum framework, select the Scrum framework, click on continue. It is preparing our workplace in the Jira. Just I'm going to Jira website, Atlassian website, Jira login, I'm typing in the Google. So I am using sign up with Google, using sign in with Google option. Then I'm selecting Scrum framework. With this, I'm able to access my Jira dashboard. Yes, guys. Now you can see this. I got the Jira dashboard. It is asking what is the name of your project. So my project name, so you can give anything. So I'm giving my project name as ecom application. Okay, how familiar are you with the Jira? Somewhat I am familiar with the Jira. Click on get started. So with this, my project got created in the Jira. Ecom application got created. So currently in this project, if you see the backlog is empty. There are no stories available in the backlog, and the sprint is also empty. So once you go to Jira and if you log in, company will provide you login access for the Jira. Once you log in into your Jira tool, then you can see the dashboard like this. Once you log in into the Jira, you can see the dashboard like this. Now here backlog is empty and the sprint is also empty. Now, so as we discussed in the project, backlog grooming session will happen. So backlog grooming is a meeting in which we will discuss pending works in the project. Backlog grooming is a meeting in which we will discuss pending works available in the project. So for every pending work, we need to create one story. So initially, all the stories will be created in the backlog. Currently, my backlog is empty. So let me click on create issue. Click on this create issue. What needs to be done? So here, what needs to be done? What is the story? What is the pending task available? Create Git repo for code integration. For all the developers, code integration, we need one repository. So Git repository should be created. Click on this story. Okay. So with this my Git repository got created. Git repository got story got created. Story one we got. Story one we got. Then next one, if you click on this story, you can see that some story points are available. Estimate and story point estimate. Currently the story points are none. Git repository creation is 1 day story. For that we will give 3 points here. So now if you see, I have created one story and for that story I have given 3 points. To do status epic. Epic is nothing but a labeling concept. We will discuss that. So I have created one story. So this is the story ID and create Git repo for code integration. This is to do nothing but it is pending story, pending work, and I have given 3 points. That means it should be completed in 1 day. Then similarly, create another story, create project skeleton, create project skeleton. Now, so here project skeleton is nothing but, so the basic project structure, the packages that are required for the project, the basic project structure that we need to create, and we need to push that project into Git repository. Create project skeleton. For this also, I'm clicking on this story ID. Scrum 2 is the story ID. So click on that story ID and go to point estimate. So here I'm giving 3 points for that. Like this, every team member will have the access for the Jira tool like this, and they can create the stories in the backlog. Backlog nothing but pending. So we will have the meeting called backlog grooming meeting. In that meeting, we will discuss what all the pending works available in the project. And for every pending work, one story will be created in the backlog. Now click on another story. So here I'm writing create registration page, or I can say develop registration page. Develop registration page. So this page development, how many days it will take? So registration page with the proper validations and all, 2 days of time. Story estimation, I'm giving 5 points. Nothing but it is going to take 2 days of time to develop this registration page. And the next one, develop login page. Develop login page. So to do the login page development also, we need to give the story point estimate. Login page development also I am giving 2 days of time, 5 points. Proper validations, proper testing is required. Okay. And similarly, another pending task, forgot password. Develop forgot password page. Develop forgot password page. So for this page, how many story points? Okay. Story point estimate. Now I am giving here 2 days of time. So 5 points I am giving. Next one. So develop dashboard page. Develop dashboard. Right. So for this one, I'm giving 3 days of time. So like 8 points I'm giving. So a lot of data we need to fetch and we need to display in the dashboard in the graphical format. So I'm giving 3 days of time. For this 8 points I'm giving. And create Jenkins pipeline. create Jenkins pipeline for dev deployment. So in order to deploy our application to the dev environment, we need a pipeline. So for this, I have created one. For this, I have created one story. So this pipeline creation, it will take 2 days of time. So let me give the points as 5. So as a developer, you are responsible to create the stories in the backlog. When you are creating the stories in the backlog, you should know the effort, how much time it requires to complete that task. So that is called effort estimation. That is called effort estimation. So when you are creating a story, you need to analyze how much time it is going to take to complete that story. Based on that, you need to do your effort estimations. Effort estimation nothing but identifying the time that is required to complete that story. And the next one, implement exception handling. That is one story. And the next one, implement unit testing. Implement exception handling, implement unit testing, implement logging, implement logging. So all these are the pending tasks in the project. Now here, story points we need to assign. Okay. So currently for the last 3 stories, story points are not available. Story nothing but a pending task. Where the story is created, story created in the backlog. So first we will have the meeting called backlog grooming meeting. So backlog grooming meeting in which we are going to discuss pending works in the project. For every pending work, one story will be created in the Jira. All team members can create the stories in Jira backlog. Are you guys able to understand the first 2 points? What is backlog grooming meeting and how to create a story in the Jira? Backlog grooming is a meeting in which we will discuss pending works in the project. For every pending work, one story will be created in the Jira. All team members can create the stories in Jira backlog. And for every story, we will assign some story points. Story points represents the duration to complete the story. Story points will represent the duration to complete the story. 1 day means 3 points, 2 days means 5 points, something like that. The points can be different from project to project. So I hope you got the clarity. What is backlog, how to create a story, and how to assign story points. So the story point estimation, exception handling, I'm giving 2 days of time. So 5 points I have given for that. Implement unit testing implementation, little challenging task. So I'm giving 3 days of time, 8 points I am giving for that. Now implement logging, 2 days of time. So overall project logging, 3 days of time. So 8 points I'm giving. So like this, you need to understand what is the story, what is the task pending. For the pending task, we need to create the stories in the backlog. And so whenever you have the stories in the backlog, we need to assign story points. All the stories are currently in the to-do state. All the stories are currently in the to-do. To-do nothing but we have to do. It is pending. To do nothing but we have to do. It is pending. So I hope you got the clarity. What is backlog grooming? What is story? And what is story point? I hope you got the clarity. What is backlog? What is story? How to create the story and how to assign the story points. Every team member will have the access for the Jira. Company will provide you Jira licensed access for you. There you can log in and you can create the stories in the backlog. You can create any number of stories in the backlog. Please
Sir, in
confirm.
real time, sir,
Yes.
in real time, who will create the backlog story? Developers or Scrum Master?
Every team member,
Every
developers,
member.
testers. So development related pending works you will create. Testing related pending works the testers will create. Anything which is required from operation side, Scrum Master will create. Everybody, all the team members will create the stories in the backlog.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the meaning of story, guys? What is the meaning of story and story point?
Story means it's a task developers
Story
or
means it
need
is
to
a
complete.
task. Story
Task.
means it is a task. Very good.
Task.
Next one. What is the meaning of story points?
Story
Duration to
points means
complete
it
the
is
story.
a time. It's a duration
Time,
in that we have to
time
complete.
limit.
Yeah, story points
Time
will
duration.
represents the duration to complete the story. Who will create the story and who will assign the story points?
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
Who will create the story?
Every
Every
developer
team
can
member.
create a story.
Sorry?
Every team member
Developer
can
will.
create a
Product owner will
story.
create the story.
Anyone can
Every
create the
team
story.
member will create.
Every team member will create the story. Every team member will have the option to create the story, and that person who is creating the story, same person will give the story points also.
So
You
one
getting my
question,
point?
sir.
If you create the story, then you need to assign story points. So if I'm creating the story, then I will assign the story points for that story. That means you should know the effort estimation. You should know the effort estimation. Effort estimation, nothing but, so whenever you are identifying that there is a pending work, you should also know how much time it is going to take to complete that work. That is called effort estimation. So based on your effort estimation, you need to assign story points for that. Okay. So once the stories are created and story points are assigned, then next one, there will be one more meeting which is called sprint planning. There will be one more meeting called sprint planning. Sprint planning is a meeting in which we will discuss about priority stories to complete. Sprint planning is a meeting in which we will discuss about priority stories to complete. That's nothing but, so every team, I have created 10 stories today. In the backlog, I created 10 stories. So there are 10 members available in the team. Everybody created 10 stories. So total 10 into 10, 100 stories available in the backlog. So total there are 100 stories available in the backlog. All the 100 stories we cannot complete at a time. All the 100 stories we cannot complete at a time. So there are 100 stories in the backlog. From these 100 stories which are important for the client, we need to prioritize. That is called sprint planning. Sprint planning is nothing but identifying the priority stories from the backlog and work on those stories and complete them. As discussed, in the agile methodology, project will not be delivered in one shot. Project will be delivered in multiple sprints. Multiple sprints will be available. In every sprint, planning, development, testing, deployment is continuous process. So agile is a repetitive approach. Agile is an iterative approach where the planning, development, designing, testing will happen parallelly. Planning, development, design, testing will happen parallelly when we go for agile methodology. So here there are 10 stories in the backlog. So in the real time, 100, 500 stories also can be available in the backlog. All the team members can create the stories in the backlog. Now sprint planning will happen. Sprint planning is a meeting in which we will discuss about priority stories to complete. So Scrum Master will join in that call. Product owners also will be there in that call. They will tell that what are the important stories that we need to complete first. What are the priority stories that we need to complete first. Okay. So here Git repository creation is important. If the project, if you want to start the development, then Git repository is required. So sprint 1 is ready. Now you just drag and drop the story here. So see here, from the backlog, I am moving the story to the sprint. Drag and drop. Okay. So story 2, select this one and drop that story in the sprint. Okay. So now if you see, the stories are moving from backlog to sprint. The stories are moving from the backlog to the sprint, guys. Now develop registration page. Okay. Select this story and move that story to the sprint. Okay, then develop login page. Yes, develop forgot password page, Jenkins pipeline. Okay, So these things are important. Then move these stories into the sprint now. Okay, I am moving those stories to the sprint. So like this, in the project, sprint planning will happen. So what is the meaning of sprint planning? Sprint planning nothing but prioritizing backlog stories to complete. There are some stories in the backlog. We need to prioritize them and we need to complete them. For that, we are going to use this backlog. Stories we are moving to sprint. Suppose this story is not required in this sprint. Develop the dashboard not required. Then you remove from the sprint and keep that back in the backlog. So you are here. I'm doing drag and drop. I'm doing drag and drop. So if I want this story, implement exception handling, just select it and drop in the sprint section now. The story is moving from backlog to the sprint. So out of 10 stories, 7 stories I have added to the sprint. 3 stories are still in the backlog. These 3 stories we will address in the next sprint. Those are not that much important now. Those are not priority now. So from the backlog, you identify the priority stories and you add the priority stories to the sprint. From the backlog, you identify what all the priority stories available. You add those priority stories to the sprint. So that is called sprint planning. So in the agile methodology, sprint planning will be available. Sprint planning is a meeting in which we will discuss about priority stories to complete. Okay, so in my backlog, there are 10 stories available. Out of 10 stories, I have taken 7 priority stories and I have added to the sprint. And how many stories we need to add to the sprint? It depends on the resources availability. How many team members available in the project? For example, there are 10 members available. Okay, every person should complete 3 points per day. So for every person, 30 points should be completed. 10 people into 30. So we need to take 300 story points for the sprint. Suppose you have 10, they will do some mathematics here, guys. Now, so we have 10 members team. We have 10 members team. Each person daily 3 points should be completed. Each person daily 3 points. Okay. So duration 10 days. So 10 days means 30 points one person should complete. So total how many people? 10 people. As a team size is 10. 10 multiplied by 30. 10 multiplied by 30. Total 300 points we need to complete in the sprint. So like this, when we are doing a sprint planning, our Scrum Master will apply these mathematics. How many team members available? So every team member should complete 3 points in one day. So 10 days they will work in the sprint. 10 days, every day 3 points means 30 points one person should complete. Each person daily 3 points. Okay. Sprint duration 10 days. So then what it should be happening now? 10 days multiplied by 3. So one person should complete 30 points in one sprint for one person. So total team 10 members available. Every team member should complete 30 points. Then we should complete 300 story points in one sprint as per our team size. Are you able to understand the formula? Are you guys able to understand the formula?
Yes, sir.
So whenever the sprint planning is happening, first of all, what is the sprint planning? Sprint planning is a meeting in which we will discuss about priority stories to complete. There are so many stories available in the backlog. So from the backlog, how many stories we need to complete in the sprint? Sprint duration is 2 weeks of time. So for 2 weeks, how many points we need to complete? Then Scrum Master will check how many team members available. There are 10 team members available. One person should complete 3 points in one day. So total in 10 days, one person should complete 30 points. So there are 10 people available. 10 multiplied by 30, 300 points required. According to that, they will plan the sprint. Currently in our sprint, how many points available? Only 31 points available. I have very less number of stories in the backlog. So they will add multiple stories to the sprint and they will check how many story points are there. So they will reach up to 300 story points in the sprint based on the availability. For example, one person is on the leave for 1 week. One person is on the leave. He informed to the Scrum Master, next week I will not be available. Then one member is not available for the 1 week of time in the project. He is taking leave for 1 week. Then what will happen? Come on, guys.
Someone should take his point.
One person is taking the leave for 1 week. Then what will happen? Can we complete 300 points if one person is not available for 1 week? No.
No,
Then
sir.
5 days he will not be available. 5 multiplied by 3. 15 points we have to minus from the sprint. So we need to go with only 285 points, not 300 points. So that's why before doing the sprint planning, Scrum Master will ask your leave plan. Anybody going for vacation, anybody taking the planned leave, okay, anybody having the plans to take the leave, Scrum Master will note down the team's resources, the team's availability. Based on the team availability, the sprint planning will happen. Based on the team availability, sprint planning will happen. So sprint planning nothing but identify the priority stories and add them to the sprint. Identify the priority stories and add them to the sprint. Okay, fine. So once it is completed, once this planning is completed, then click on start sprint. Sprint is going to start. Once the priority is completed, then once this priority is on, once this planning is completed, then we are going to start the sprint. Our sprint is 1. So sprint name we are giving as sprint 1. What is the duration of this sprint? 2 weeks of time we are giving. So industry standard 2 weeks. You can change it according to the project requirement, but most of the people will follow 2 weeks duration. So today it is starting August 13th, it should be completed. 2 weeks means they will consider weekly 5 days. 10 working days will be considered, and sprint goal we have to complete. We have to complete all stories which are added to this sprint. Right? We have to complete all the stories which are added to this sprint. That is the goal. Click on start. So with this, our sprint is started. So sprint is started. What is the meaning of sprint? Sprint nothing but set of priority stories we are working on for next 2 weeks of time. Sprint first backlog grooming will happen, where we will discuss about pending works. For every pending work, one story will be created. For the story, we have given the story points also. Story points will represent estimation, the duration that we need to take to complete. Now, sprint planning is completed. Sprint planning means identify which are the priority stories from the backlog and complete only those priority stories. So priority stories are added to the sprint and the sprint is started now. So in this sprint to do 7, there are 7 stories in the sprint. All are in the to do status. To do nothing but we have to do. They are in the pending. Nobody is working on them. Now, once this sprint is started, then story assignment will be available, guys. Who has to work on which story? Here there is a small trick that we need to understand. In some projects, either Scrum Master or team lead will assign the stories to the team members. In some projects, Scrum Master or team lead will assign stories to the team members. That means which person should work on which story, that will be decided by Scrum Master or team lead in some projects. Whereas in some other projects, nobody will assign the task for you. You should assign the task yourself. You go to Jira dashboard, you go to the sprint which is running, you identify what all the pending stories available. You identify what all the pending stories available. you take this story, see here, what is the status, to do, check the assignee. Currently, the story is unassigned. If it is not assigned to anybody, then you use assign to me. That means you are assigning the story to yourself. So currently in some projects, they will follow this process. In some other projects, a scrum master or tech lead will assign the stories to the team members. In some projects, every team member should assign the stories to themselves. Nobody will assign the stories to them. They should go to Jira dashboard. They should identify the pending story and they need to take that story onto their bucket. Now, so before you are taking the story, you check, is it assigned for anybody? If it is already assigned for someone, then you don't take it. If it is not assigned to anyone, then you click on assign to me. Currently the status is to do, that means pending, then click on assign to me. So when I have clicked on assign to me, the story assigned on my name, the story is assigned on my name, then I can go and take that story and to do, from to do to in progress. So that means I am working on that story. When you take that story, then you assign that story to your name and you change the status. So initially the status is to do. Now I have changed the status to in progress. Initially the status is to do. Now I have changed the status to in progress. That means I am working on that story. So I have assigned story to my name and I will work on that story and I will complete that story. Once this work is completed, then I will change the status to done. Done means it is completed. See here, the line is coming on the story that is completed. And whenever you complete the story, add a comment. Okay, so add a comment. Git repo created successfully. Git repo created successfully. Git repo URL also you can specify there and click on save. So with this, I have added a comment on the story and I have changed the status to completed. That means my story got completed. Then every day Scrum call will be available. So in the Scrum call, I need to explain to the Scrum Master what I am doing today, when my story will be completed, am I facing any challenges to complete my story. So my story number is available, story ID 1. Hi Steve, today I am working on the story number 1, which is related to Git repository creation for code integration. I have completed that repository creation and I have updated the status in the Jira. Now I am going to work on another story which is in the pending. I don't have any challenges to complete my stories. That's it. So like this, we will give our work updates to the Scrum Master every day in the Scrum call. What are you doing today? You are working on which story? When that story will be completed? So do you have any challenges in order to complete that story? All these things you need to explain to the Scrum Master in the Scrum call every day. Fine, my story got completed. Then next story, I'm going to take develop registration page. Okay, so go to this one. Currently, it is not assigned to anybody. Click on assign to me. I'm taking this story, change the status from to do to in progress. Then the story change it to in progress and it is assigned on my name. Assigned, you can see it is, these stories are unassigned. These stories are unassigned, but this story assigned on my name in progress. Once my development is completed, then again I will go here and I will change the status to done and I will add a comment, registration page development completed. Registration page development completed with a proper testing. Whenever you do the development, you need to do the testing also. Registration page development completed with proper testing. We are done with that process. We are done with that process. Are you clear? Are you clear with my point?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes. So like this, we are going to take the stories. We will assign the story to our name. We will work on that story. In the Scrum call, we will give our story updates to the Scrum Master. Okay. And we will complete that. Once the story is completed, then we will change the status from to do to done status. So like this, every day we are going to work with the Jira, right? So in the Jira, we are able to understand how to create a story in the backlog, how to assign story points for that, and what is sprint planning, what is sprint, okay, and how to assign the story, how to add the comment to the story, how to change the story status. So every day we are going to work like this. Now, for example, some people ask me what is epic. So when you go to the backlog, there are some stories available. These stories are belongs to one particular module: develop dashboard, unit testing, login, something like this. So I want to add these stories to one epic. Okay, create your first epic, then add this issue to the epic. So go to create epic functionality. So required fields, what is epic? Issue type, I'm going to create one epic. Summary, to do epic. So summary, I'm giving this epic name as, suppose this epic is related to payment module. Epic is related to the payment module. Okay, so epic, I'm creating e-commerce application. Issue type is epic. Learn about the issues type. So click on create. So with this one, epic is created, which is related to the payment module. One issue that got created, issue 11 got created. I want to create one epic and I want to add the epic here. Add the epic payment module. Now see here, I'm adding payment module epic for them. So like this, in the backlog, there are multiple stories available. Some stories are related to the payment module. Some stories are related to the reports module. Some stories are related to the user module. So when you want to segregate the stories, there are 500 stories available. Out of these 500, how many stories are belongs to payment module? How many stories are belongs to user module? How many stories are belongs to the reports module? Like that, we can categorize our stories by using epic. By using epic, we can categorize our stories. Show the epic panel. So here payment module epic is available. Create one more epic. I'm creating one more epic with a name called reports module. I'm creating one more epic with a name called reports module, and one more epic I'm creating with a name called user module. Okay, now for example, this implement dashboard related to user module. Okay, now give the epic as user module. So if you see, there are two stories belongs to payment module, two stories related to user module. So these things also we can add epic. Epic means it is like a category. Epic means it is a category related stuff. Now suppose create epic testing related stories are available. So they want to perform testing of our application. So there are some stories in the Jira. Those stories are related to testing team. Testing team should work on those stories. Okay. So if the testing team is working on those stories, then we will add them to the epic. Are you guys able to understand what is the meaning of epic?
He knows how to play piano. He's great at backgammon. No, don't call the police.
Yes, sir, it is a category.
Category, yes.
Sir, in this current scenario, you will be the Scrum Master, right?
Sorry?
In this scenario, you will be the Scrum Master.
Yeah, I'm the Scrum Master. Now you are the team members. Guys, are you able to understand how I am using this Jira tool now? How I created the story in the backlog, how I have added them to the sprint, how I have started the sprint, how to assign the stories, how to add the comments to the story, how to change the story status, how to create a epic, how to add the epic to the stories. So every day we are going to work with the Jira tool like this. Every day we are going to work with Jira tool like this. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good.
So if one story is not completed in the first sprint, so it will move to the
Yes,
second.
sir. If the story is not completed in the first sprint now suppose for example, these are the 2 stories completed. There are 5 stories are pending. When we are clicking on complete sprint, right, move the issues. So 2 issues completed, 5 issues are open. So total there are 7 stories are there in the sprint. Out of the 7 now, I completed only 2. The remaining 5 are still pending. Move them to the new sprint or move them to the backlog. When they are going to complete the sprint, right? So it will check in the previous sprint. In our sprint 1 total, there are 7 stories available. Out of the 7, we completed only 2, still 5 are pending. But my sprint time is completed. When I'm clicking on complete sprint option, so it is asking what you want to do with the existing stories. Now, all the pending stories are moved to the next sprint, that is called sprint 2. So some stories, whatever we have planned in the present sprint, we are unable to complete those stories, then those stories will be moved to next sprint. Those stories will be moved to next sprint.
Okay, gotcha.
You got the clarity?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Yes, perfect. So, and here when we are working in the team, right, as I discussed, if you are not available to join for the scrum call, you need to send work updates to the scrum master through email. Okay, so today I want you people to practice this Jira tool, guys. Okay, you need to go to the official Jira id.atlassian.com. Okay, I am trying to log out from my Jira account. So I will want to give you the URL from where you can access this one, id.atlassian.com. So this is the website. So here you can use a sign in with Google and you can use that. Okay, so URL to use Jira. This is the URL. So using this URL, you can create the free account in the Jira, trial account in the Jira, and you can do the practice. So what I have done in the Jira tool, guys, create Scrum based, select login into Jira, So I'm using Scrum template. Login into Jira. Then next one, create project. Then create stories in backlog. Assign story points. Okay, then sprint planning. So move stories from backlog to sprint. Sprint planning, nothing but move stories from backlog to sprint. Backlog means pending, sprint means the stories that we are going to complete. Then work on stories and after sprint planning, assign story and change story status. You need to take the story to your name. You need to assign to your name. When you are working on that story, you need to change that story status. Once it is done, assign story and change the story status. Once it is done, once the story completed, change story status, add comment and change story status, Once story completed, add comment and change story status. Give story update in the Scrum call. Give your stories update in Scrum call. So you are working on which story? and what is the purpose of that story, when that story will be completed, do you have any challenges to complete that story that you need to explain to your scrum master in the scrum call. So every day 15 to 20 minutes, scrum call will happen in the project. Every day 15 to 20 minutes scrum call will happen in the project. So in that scrum call, every team member should join and they should tell their work updates to the scrum master. Log in into Jira, use the scrum template, create the project, create the stories in the backlog. Then once you create a story, assign the story points to that. Then do the sprint planning. So sprint planning, nothing but whatever the stories available in the backlog, we will move them to the sprint. Then assign the story and change the story status. Once the story got completed, you add the comment and you change that story status and give your stories update in the scrum call. Okay, suppose for example, if you are not able to join in the scrum call, then what we need to do? You need to send one email to the scrum master. How to send the email to the scrum master? Okay, so sending work updates email. So subject scrum update, the name, who is sending that email, your name you can keep. My scrum master name, hi Steve, greetings for the day. Today I'm unable to join scrum call due to my personal work. Please find my work status below. I'm working on the story number which is in progress. This is targeted for tomorrow. I don't have any issues to complete my story. So thanks, Ashok, like this. So you can follow this kind of email template, and if you are not able to join for the scrum call today, you can inform that to your scrum master through email, and in that email you need to specify your work updates. You are working on which story and when it will be completed, and do you have any challenges in order to complete that story. Hi Steve, subject, my scrum update, my name I have mentioned in the email subject. By looking at that subject only, they will understand who sent this mail, why they sent this mail. Scrum update of Ashok. Hi Steve, greetings for the day. Today I am unable to join scrum call due to my personal work. Please find my work status below. I am working on the story number which is in progress, and this is targeted for tomorrow. I don't have any issues to complete my story. That's it. Suppose for example, I want to go for leave. I want to take some leave. How we will send the leave request to the scrum master? If you want to take any leave, sending the leave request to the scrum master. O request. O nothing but out of office. So corporate words, some words you need to learn. O request. O request nothing but out of office request. That means I am going on leave. I will be out of office from this date to this date. Hi Steve, greetings for the day. I will be O from 10th March to 14th March due to function at home. Kindly approve my leave request. That's it. So like this, if you want to take some planned leave, then you can send the email to the scrum master in this format.
Sir, where I will give a story ID for a story?
I have mentioned here. Na?
No, sir, it is not in mail. Means in Jira, sir, where I will update the story ID because we have created the story. That's
Whenever you create the story, automatically story ID will be generated for that. Whenever you create a story, by default one ID will be generated for that. By clicking on that ID only, we have added the points, we have changed the status. For every story, when you create a story, one ID will be generated. Okay. Now, guys, are you clear how to send email request to the Scrum Master? Are you clear how to send email request to the Scrum Master? How to send your work updates in the email? How to send leave request to the Scrum Master? Yeah. Next one. There is a Jenkins pipeline story, but actually Jenkins pipeline should be created by the DevOps team. Then how to send the email to the DevOps team to create that Jenkins pipeline? Story I have taken for the Jenkins pipeline, but actually that is the responsibility of our DevOps team. So Here guys, in the company, DLs will be available to amazon.devops or tcs.devops@tcs.com, something like this. Or our project is available ecom.devops@tcs.com. So in the TCS, we are working for e-commerce application. For that, one DevOps team is available. So how we have the WhatsApp groups in the company, email groups will be available. Those are called as DLs. How we are having WhatsApp groups in the real time, email groups will be available. So I want to send one request to the DevOps team to create a Jenkins pipeline. DevOps team DL will be available. So if I send the email to this email ID, that mail will go to all the DevOps team members who are part of that DL. So how, if I send a message to one WhatsApp group, all the members in the WhatsApp group will get the update. Similarly, in the company, email groups will be available. When you send the email to that DL means distribution list. When I send the email to the DL, that will be received by all the members who are part of the DL. Now my subject, Jenkins pipeline creation request, story ID 5. Hi DevOps team, please create the Jenkins CI/CD pipeline for orders microservice. This is the GitHub repository URL for that microservice, and I will ask my manager to approve the request. Once my manager is approved that request, then DevOps team will create the pipeline, and we can use that pipeline in order to deploy our application. So when you want to send some request to the DevOps team, for example, you want to create Git repository, you need to send the request to the DevOps team. You need to create CI/CD pipeline, send the request to the DevOps team. You want Kafka topic, send the request to the operations team. So when you have the task that is supposed to be completed by other team members, you have a dependency with the other team members, then you need to send a request like this. Sending the request to the DevOps team to create the pipeline, to create the Git repository, to create the Kafka topics, to set up the Redis servers, all these things. You need, as you are taking that story, you need to send the email to them, and you need to follow up with them, and you need to make sure they have completed the story. Then your story will be completed. Yes.
Sir, actually, we need to create that CI/CD pipeline for stories
It
like
depends.
they're
It,
asking
it
things.
depends on project, madam. In some projects, pipeline creation will be taken care by developers only. In
Yes,
some
sir.
projects, it will be taken care by DevOps team. It depends on
Oh.
your project scenario.
Could you show me that how to create that CI/CD pipeline, sir, whenever it is?
In the Jenkins class, we will discuss that.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Akash here.
Yeah, hi.
Actually, I wanted to know that how we will add our commit IDs with this task in Jira.
Sorry, can you come again?
Sir, in my current company, in project, we are using Azure servers. So for project management. So in that, for every task, when we are committing our codes, so we have to commit that commit ID to our task. So is
So
similar
whenever
thing
you
is
are
here.
committing some code changes to the Git repository, you need to mention your Jira story ID, for which story ID you are making these commits.
Okay. And in this task, is there any option to add the commit ID also?
No, in the story you don't need. Yeah. In the comment you can add the commit ID. Whenever you are adding a comment to the story, in the comment you can specify your commit ID. What is the commit you have done in the GitHub? What is the ID? That ID you can keep in the comment.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, as we are using microservices based architecture pattern, so we have a multiple model, right? So by using epic concept, we can segregate the tasks.
Yes, we can segregate the tasks.
Okay, sir.
Epic
Okay.
is basically to give the label for the tasks.
Oh, okay, sir. Got it.
Hi Ashok. Epic
Yeah.
means which model you are working, so you can give that model name inside that backlog.
Correct.
So how to effectively maintain like communication? I mean, how to look that there is no communication gap between the operations and development?
Sir, definitely daily meetings will be available. You will have a chat box. Whenever you have some doubt, you can message them, and you can set up a meeting with the DevOps team, and you can discuss in the meeting. Generally, we will have daily meetings in the project because all the team members will not work from one single office. People will be available in the different locations. So every day, minimum to minimum in the 8 hours of your office timing or 9 hours of your office timing, 4 to 5 hours you will spend for only meetings. You will hardly get 2 to 3 hours only for the actual work. The remaining things, the remaining time in your 8 hours job, two to 2.5 hours only you will focus on the work. The remaining 6 hours, 5 hours, you need to join the meetings only for the communication.
Then, sir, in that much of little
Your
time,
voice is
how the
very low,
work is.
sir. I can't hear your voice.
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, that in that little much time, how then work is completed?
So that is the industry. So you have to complete because meetings also important, right? Without
Yes,
meetings, you
yes.
cannot understand what is happening in the project.
Then, sir, we have to do means homework like work.
No, no,
Means,
no, not homework, sir. Whatever the task you are taking, 2 to 3 hours that you can spend. Some people will spend extra time to complete the tasks. So, but meetings, most of the time, meetings will be there, sir. That is the truth.
Okay, okay, sir.
So, minimum 5 to 6 hours, 4 hours meetings will be there every day.
So except Scrum call, what will be the other meetings?
Other meetings, backlog grooming meeting will be available. Sprint planning meetings will be available. Okay. Retro meetings will be available. Functional meetings will be available.
So that will be not daily basis, no?
Some meetings will be on daily basis. On-site team meetings, functional team meetings will be there on daily basis.
So all these stories are independent by itself. I mean, like there is no dependencies between the stories.
Sometimes there will be some dependency also. When there is a dependency, then you need to hold on that and you need to take the next story.
So do you
Definitely
assign?
dependency also will be there when we go for the stories.
So you have to complete 30 points, right? So for this sprint. So do you assign 30 points of the story at a time, or you just
No, first
assign
you need
one
to take
story and complete?
only one story, then you need to complete. Once it is completed, then you need to take the next story.
So for the every Scrum call, you're responsible for answering for 3 points story, right?
Correct.
So for example, if you're taking 8-point stories, so you are kind of give the progress like, yes, I'm working on it, and then I'll be completing by tomorrow or the day
Correct.
after, right?
You can tell that. So if you are working on a 8-point story, which is 3 days of time, you will tell to the Scrum Master. So you are working on the story, which will take 3 days of time to complete.
Is it possible to do the breakdown of the story as well? Like if you're working on the story and then you realize that 3 days is not going to be enough for you, or there might be
Then you
some
can communicate
dependencies.
that to the Scrum Master. So they have given 3 days of time to complete your story, but actually it is taking more than 3 days of time. Then you can tell to the Scrum Master, I'm working on the story number 422. So this story is targeted for 3 days, but actually it is taking more than 3 days. What is the reason? That you need to update in the Scrum call. Why it is taking more time? What is the actual reason? You need to justify that. If you need more time, then you need to justify that.
And how we can generate a sub task inside
Yes,
that
sir. Inside the Jira, whenever you create one story, there will be an option called subtask also. In one story, we can create some subtask. Suppose my story is taking 10 days of time. Instead of creating 10 stories, we'll create one main story. In that, we will create some sub stories. Sub story creation option also will be there. Sub story nothing but some small stories belongs to one main story.
Yeah, good morning,
Guys,
Joe.
1 minute, sir. A small update. I have updated the notes in the portal. Can you check that? And I have updated the Zoom link also for the tomorrow session. You no need to register in the Zoom from tomorrow onwards. New link is updated. Can you guys check it? Are you able to access the new Zoom link? The
Yeah,
Jira
Jira, I'm
notes
able
is
to read the
updated.
notes, Ashok.
Sorry?
Yeah, Jira notes, I'm able to download Jira notes.
Yeah, check it. Is it latest notes available?
Yes, sir, it is latest.
Yeah. Can you check the Zoom link also?
I'm unable to access the backup videos.
Sir, please talk to the admin team, sir. They will guide you with that process.
Yes, sir. In Zoom link, able to access.
Yeah, I'm giving one number in the chat box. So anyone facing issues with the backup videos, anybody has not done the enrollment process, today is the last date. Zoom link is modified. So the classes will happen tomorrow onwards with a new Zoom link. Anybody want to take the enrollment, so you can complete it by today. So tomorrow class will be there on the new Zoom link, guys. The link is already updated in the website. So please confirm, are you able to access new Zoom link? It won't ask you for the registration in the Zoom.
Sir, present it is updated, sir.
Yeah, it is updated, sir. You can check it now.
Yes, yes, it is okay, Ashok. So if you click the join class, join
Yeah.
live class,
Yeah.
it is asking, it is taking without registration. So we
Correct.
cannot join now because we are already in the Zoom meeting, right?
Correct, sir. You are in the current old link. So from tomorrow, new link will be there for the class. The link is already changed and updated in the website. So from tomorrow onwards, please join the classes from website. In the WhatsApp group, already I have sent you a message how to join the Zoom classes from our website. Zoom link we don't share to email, we don't share to your WhatsApp number. So Zoom link you can access directly from our website only. How to access that? Once your enrollment is completed, admin will give the details for you to access the Zoom link, class notes and backup videos also. Anybody has not done the enrollment, today is the last date. Please try to complete by afternoon so that you will get the access today itself. So that if you do tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, admin team will not be available. You will miss the class tomorrow. All right, guys. So with this, we understood what is Agile methodology and what is waterfall model, what are the drawbacks in the waterfall, what is Agile, what is the advantage with the Agile, okay, who will be involved in the Agile team, who is product owner, who is a scrum master, who is a tech lead, right, and who is a team member and all. And coming to Agile terminology, backlog grooming, story points, sprint planning, sprint, scrum, retrospective, like this, there is a terminology. We discussed about that, and we have seen what is Jira and how to work with Jira. Jira is one software that is developed by Atlassian company, and it is a commercial software. We can use it trial version. It is used for Jira is used for project management, guys. So we are able to access Jira tool. We logged in into Jira. We selected Scrum template. We created the project. We created the stories. We assigned stories. We have done sprint planning. We have changed story status, story points. And once the story is completed, we can add some comment and we can close that story. If any particular day, if you are not able to join for the Scrum call, then you need to give your Scrum update. Then sending the leave request, sending the request to the Jenkins pipeline request to the DevOps team. Are you clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, when we will start about that Git repository, sir?
Madam, one by one will come. First, Jira is completed today. Tomorrow we will start with Maven. Once Maven completed, then Git.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Ashok.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
As you said that we have to take a lot of meetings and we will get less chance for working in the task. So in the company laptop, are they going to allow like AI tools for support for the developers to complete their
Yes,
tasks?
sir. You can access the YouTube, ChatGPT, Google, Stack Overflow. They will
Like
allow that.
Copilot
Ashok,
is
sir.
there with the Windows 11.
Yeah, that also they will allow. So all the AI tools they will allow you, because by using AI tools we can do more work in the less time, right?
Sir,
Yes.
Yes.
Ashok, sir, almost 70% of clients at Infosys are blocked ChatGPT bought these portals.
Why?
Don't know, when we ask clients, those were automated code. Developers can't think and write the code, so that it might give more issues. That is the reason they blocked the
Okay, that's
ChatGPT and bot.
company to company, that is going to be different. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, other than ChatGPT, is there any other thing to search that code, sir?
ChatGPT is there, Bot is there.
Sir,
But sir,
one
Copilot is there with the
Copilot.
Windows 11
Yeah,
updated version. All the enterprise they are supporting Copilot. No? So
correct.
sir,
That is GitHub Copilot, right?
that name, sir.
Guys, send those
Microsoft
names in the
Copilot.
group, guys. Send those names in the group.
Yes, can you add those names in the group? What are
Yeah,
the
please
other
send in the
AI tools?
WhatsApp group what are the names that we need.
Yeah, apart from ChatGPT, whatever is there.
What are the tools that are there? Please send them in the
Yes, yes.
WhatsApp group.
So
Okay.
what will be the challenges for new developers in the company?
Sir, we will discuss those things, sir. We'll discuss. Once you understand all the tools, once we
Sir,
start the projects, then you will understand what are the challenges are there for the developers. All those things we are going to learn.
Ashok sir, did we have any course related to generative AI in Ashok IT?
Yes, sir. Generative AI, one new batch is running evening at 8 p.m., sir.
Okay. How long the course duration, sir, it is?
3 months of time, sir.
Hi, sir. So for tomorrow, what is the prerequisite like we should know for Maven?
Yeah, so tomorrow we are going to start with the Maven, right? There is one video how to do the Maven setup in the Windows. I will share that video in our WhatsApp group. If you go to YouTube channel of Ashok IT, all of you subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys.
No, sir, it is asking like a login details and all things.
Click on that link I have given in the chat box and click on subscribe. So you can find a lot of important videos in our channel.
Hi Ashok, good morning.
Yes.
Since that ChatGPT topic is raised here, I have one doubt. The way ChatGPT is launched, some people are saying testing jobs will get disappeared in some days, or developer jobs will get reduced. What is
No,
your thought on that?
we will discuss separately on that, sir. So no jobs will be affected with the ChatGPT. We can do more work by using these AI tools. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next one, guys, in the YouTube channel, I have given Maven setup in Windows. How to do the Maven setup in the Windows. Tomorrow topic is Maven. So Apache Maven setup in the Windows. So this is the video you can find out in the Ashok IT. I'm sharing this video in our WhatsApp group also. Before coming to that, I want you people to set up the Maven in your system so that we can understand what is Maven, how to use that Maven. Okay, good. Thank you guys. So with this, I'm stopping for today. We'll meet again in tomorrow's session.